Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Bianca. If you're new, welcome. Today we are doing a really large haul. That's a lot of books. I don't even want to count how many books. So to make this not so long, I'm probably not going to give too much detail on what these books are about, but I will leave the books linked down below, so if you are interested you can look into them, but there are just way too many. This would be like 3 hours if I had to go through and give a synopsis on every single book. So to start, I'm gonna begin with the books I got from my book of the month subscription. I got them, one of these is a book of the month for April, and then the other one is a past book that I chose as my extra. So we have Arsenic and Adobo by Mia P. Maniscalco. This is like a cozy mystery. It is her debut novel, and so this is the first book in the series, or what will be the series. I don't know much about it. I know it is about a woman who owns a restaurant, and then her ex-boyfriend gets poisoned in her restaurant, so she sets out to prove that she didn't do it. That's about as much as I know. The next book is No Exit by Taylor Adams. I am not big on thrillers, haven't gotten into them, so I definitely wanted to pick up a thriller so I could read some. So I chose this one. It's about a teenage girl who is stuck at a truck stop due to weather, and as she goes outside to see if she can get signal to make a phone call, she discovers a little girl trapped in a cage. That sounded interesting enough, so I decided to pick this one up. And those are the 2 books I got from my book of the month. And the rest of these have either come from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or the occasional book from Target. So let's get into this huge pile of books I have next to me. The first one is a graphic novel. This is Pumpkin Heads by Rainbow Rowell. Graphic novel, cute. Illustrations are adorable. Don't know much about it. I know it's a great fall read. I might save it for that. We'll see. Depending on what I'm reading during the month, sometimes I look for nice, easy reads in graphic novels. So we'll see how that goes. The next book I got is one that I read in April and is a poetry book. This is Swimming Lessons by Lily Reinhardt. I enjoyed it. It's a nice quick read. I tabbed a bunch of it. They're nice little illustrations done with some of the poems, so definitely a book to look into. The next 3 I have are also graphic novels. These are by Sarah Anderson, who illustrated one of my favorite graphic novels, Fangs, that I read in October of last year. So this is Adulthood is a Myth, Big Mushy Happy Lump, and Herding Cats. And if you've seen any of my previous videos, you know I have a black cat, and there's a black cat in this, which I love. I have a lot of favorite pages out of here, which I think I'm gonna go back through and probably tab. Love this series. It's really cute. It was a nice read when I was in a reading slump, so there's those. The next one is another graphic novel that I picked up, or a set of comics, I guess you could, collection of comics that I picked up in February during Valentine's Day. I saw this and thought it was cute, so I got a copy for my friend and decided to get one for myself too. So this is In Love in Pajamas by Katina Comics, or Katina Chetwin. This is cute. It's just about the comfortable, cozy place you've reached in a relationship when you're really comfortable with each other. So the next books I have are part of a series. This is the Crave series, I guess. I don't know if it's called something else, but this includes Crave by Tracy Wolff, followed by Crush and Covet. I don't know a lot about these. I know it has to do with vampires and demons, I believe, but other than that, heard great things, but don't know much about it. The next set of books is also a series. This is the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, so that includes A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, A Court of Mist and Fury A Court of Wings and Ruin, A Court of Frost and Starlight, and then the final book, which isn't really part of the series because A Court of Thorns and Roses is a trilogy, with A Court of Frost and Starlight being a novella, and then this is the next book in what I believe will be a new trilogy following Nesta and Cassian. So this is A Court of Silver Flames, which will then be followed by I believe it's another trilogy. I'm not exactly sure, but there's those. The next set of books is another trilogy by Sarah J. Maas, and if you know Sarah J. Maas, then you know what trilogy this is. This is the Throne of Glass, not trilogy, series. This is the Throne of Glass series. It is way more than a trilogy. There are like 7 books. I only have 4. So this is The Assassin's Blade, which is, I believe, 5 or 6 novellas that are prequels to Throne of Glass. So I have The Assassin's Blade, and then I have Throne of Glass, which is the first book in the series, and then that's followed by, is it followed by Crown of Midnight, and then Heir of Fire. So I definitely want to get the rest of those books, and I do want to finish the series. It's just so long that I think I want to do the Court of Thorns and Roses first. But that is one that I do want to get to. The next book I have is Girl, Serpent, and Thorn by Melissa Basher-Doust, which I believe is kind of a King Midas type thing, where the princess her touch is poisonous or something like that. I don't know a lot, but I do definitely want to read this. This is a gorgeous cover. I have a matching bookmark in it, but I definitely do want to pick this book up. It sounds very interesting. The next one is Admission by Julie Buxbaum. I believe this is kind of like an admissions scandal, which sounds really interesting to me. So I definitely wanted to pick this up, but that's this one. This one is so cute. I Love You So Moshi by Sarah Kahn. Don't know much about it. I just thought this title was so cute, and the concept's cute too. I just can't remember much about it, but this is a young adult romance that I do want to pick up, so I got that. The next one I got recently. This is The Titanic Sisters by Patricia Falvey. This does take place, part of it does take place on the Titanic, which is a really interesting part of history for me. I loved learning about the Titanic when I was younger, so that has continued on obviously as I've gotten older, so I definitely wanted to pick this up. I also believe this is a romance, but I'm not exactly positive, but I definitely wanted to get that. The next book I got is Go the Distance by Jen Calanita. This is a Twisted Tale, part of the Disney Twisted Tales. This one follows Meg, so this is Hercules, a Twisted Tale on Hercules. So this is what if Meg had become a Greek god. I love Hercules. It was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid, so I definitely knew I wanted to pick this up and read this. So I got this one at Barnes & Noble. It's the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. The next set of books I got is the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. So I got the box set. So that includes City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, and City of Heavenly Fire. I have definitely wanted to get into Cassandra Clare. I've heard a lot of great things about her writing. I know this is said not to be her best series, but I wanted to read them in publication order. So this is the one I got first. I'll put a picture. I also got the Shadowhunters Codex, but I can't put my finger on where it is right now. So I also have that. The next 2 books are, I don't know how I'd put this. I guess they're called illustrated journals. So these are Vic Lee's Corona Diaries. So there's volume 1 and volume 2. No, Volume 1 and Volume 2. So this one covers the, I want to say maybe like March through January. Okay, so this is January through June of 2020. And then this is like June 2020 through January of 2021. So Vic Lee does amazing illustrations and words. Just putting down all of the stuff that happened. He does amazing work, and I thought it was interesting to have all of the different events that happened during this trying time in our history. So the next one I have is Cutie and the Beast, Volume 2 by Yui Azumi. This is the second volume. I got the first one and loved it, so when the second one came out, I knew I wanted to pick this one up. It's just a cute manga about a girl who loves wrestling and meets her favorite wrestler, and they start a relationship and stuff like that, so I knew I wanted to pick that up. The next one is The Library of Lost Things by Laura Taylor Namey. I don't know where I heard this. I just heard it compared to Fangirl and by Rainbow Rowell, and I love Fangirls compared to Fangirl if Fangirl meant something else. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I knew I wanted to pick this up. I loved Fangirl, and this was interesting. I love books about books, and Library of Lost Things, well, interesting. The next one is a nonfiction. This is Kamala's Way by Dan Moraine. So this is about Kamala Harris, I guess. I think it's an autobiography. Not an autobiography, a biography and autobiography. So I knew I wanted to pick this up. So I definitely do want to read this. The next book I have is one that I have read, and I read it as soon as I got it because this was the sequel to one of my favorite books that I read last year. I think it was, no, maybe not my favorite book, but it was definitely one of my favorite books from last year. And this is Namesake by Adrienne Young, which is the sequel to Fable, which I loved. I read it at the end of last year, I believe, and could not wait for this one to come out. So as soon as it did, I pre-ordered my copy and read it as soon as I got it, and I tabbed it a whole bunch, if you can see that. Then there is The Ravens by Cass Morgan and Danielle Paige. This is about a sorority of witches, and that's definitely right up my alley, so I knew I wanted to pick that up. This next one is a graphic novel that I have read and finished. This is The Sad Ghost Club by Liz Meddings. It was cute, very relevant to my situation, and I'm sure many others, so I would definitely recommend this book. The next one is also a graphic novel. This is Séance Tea Party by Reimena. Cute, very cute graphic novel. Definitely would recommend picking this up. It's about a young girl who has a seance tea party and ends up meeting a ghost. So I thought that was cute. The next books are also part of a series. This is the Jack the Ripper series by Kerri Maniscalco. So you have Jack the Ripper, which I read and tapped a whole bunch. Loved it. Gave it 4 stars. And then there is Escaping from Houdini, which is the second book in the series, followed by Hunting Prince Dracula and Capturing the Devil. I knew I wanted to read more of Kerri Maniscalco's books after, I haven't read it yet, but after I got Kingdom of Wicked, I knew I wanted to read more by Kerri Maniscalco, so I ended up picking up Stalking Jack the Ripper, and I read that and thought it was amazing. So I knew I definitely want to continue that series. The next book I got was on my most anticipated releases for this year, and that is Wench by Maxine Kaplan. This follows a tavern wench. This girl has lived in a tavern all of her life. She broke up her first fight when she was 8. She was working at the bar by the time she could see over the bar top. And when she hit 17, she thinks she could run the tavern with her eyes closed. Unfortunately, her guardian passes away, and she has to go to the queen to retain permission to keep running this tavern. And she's met with corrupt guards, swashbuckling thieves, a city of fire, and an enchanted feather that seems to be calling to her. To be honest, it was that feather that really drew my attention. I mean, this sounds like a great book, but I really want to know what's up with that feather. The next one is one that I've started, but I have not finished. This is Amari and the Night Brothers by Baby Alston. This is an amazing middle grade. I've heard great things about it. I definitely started it when I was in a really bad slump and just haven't picked it back up. So I'm on page 196 and I haven't got any further, but I definitely want to continue reading this. The next one I got is one that I have read. I read it as an ebook and decided I liked it enough that I wanted to get a physical copy. This is The Wicked Deed by Shea Ernshaw. I love this book. I definitely want to do a reread. Oh, cover's got a scratch on it. But it's about 3 sisters that were hanged for witchcraft or drowned for witchcraft. And they come back every year to possess 3 girls, and kill men for a certain stretch of time. And I definitely wanted to have a physical copy of it. I don't know if it's a series or a duology. I believe it's a series because it just says book 2. But this is the Blood of Stars series. So this is Spin the Dawn and Unravel the Dusk by Elizabeth Lim. I have had this on my wish list for a long time, and I just finally bit the bullet and bought them. Don't know much about it except that it's about a girl who is a tailor who has to sew 3 gowns. There's magic and stuff, action, so I knew I wanted it. So we'll see what these 2 are about. The next one was also on my most anticipated releases. This is Follow Your Arrow by Jessica Verdi. This is kind of like an influencer who was dating a girl, and then when they broke up, she ends up having feelings for a guy, and she doesn't know how her followers will feel about it. And he's really not into social media, so he has no clue she's an influencer at all. So I thought this was really interesting, and I was looking forward to it coming out. This next book is another one that was on my most anticipated releases. This is The Castle School for Troubled Girls by Alyssa Shinel. This is about a girl who is sent to a school for troubled girls after she starts acting out after the death of her best friend. I know this covers like grief and letting people in. I don't know much about it. I know there's a mystery, but I definitely wanted to pick this up. This reminded me of one of my favorite movies, and I wanted to read more. The next 2 books are graphic novels. This is the Teen Titans Raven and Beast Boy set. So I got the special edition set, which has the 2 hardcovers. I've read Raven. I haven't read Beast Boy yet, but Raven was really good. I enjoyed it. The next book I have is another of my most anticipated releases. This is You Have a Match by Emma Lord. I know this is a romance. It's got a secret sister and a summer camp. I would kind of compare it to The Parent Trap, but I don't think they actually go back and meet the parents. But I knew I wanted to get this. It sounded interesting to me, so I picked that up. The next book is a sequel to another of my favorite books from last year. So this is the sequel to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So this is Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. I know in this one, Pip has made a podcast about the mystery she solved in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and has moved on. She doesn't want to solve any more mysteries. She doesn't want to solve any more murders until a friend goes missing and the police aren't giving it the attention she thinks it deserves. So she decides she's going to go look for him instead. So this follows that. Looking forward to picking that up. On to something else. So this is a chunker of a book. I believe it's almost like 900 pages or something. It is thin pages, 878 pages. So this is To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. I believe this is a first contact sci-fi book. Olivia Reads a Latte mentioned it in one of her videos, I believe. I don't remember exactly what video. I will have it tagged up above, but she said it was really good from what she started already, and I love this cover. So definitely kind of a cover by, I'm not big on sci-fi, so this will be an introduction to that genre for me, but I look forward to picking this up. I'm kind of interested. I don't know when I'll get to it, but I am interested. This is a book that I've heard about. I haven't heard a lot about it, but I knew I wanted to pick this up. This is an ostentatious romance. It's not written by Jane Austen, but it mentions Jane Austen. This is Dangerous Alliance by Jeanette Cohen. From what I know, the main character relies on Jane Austen novels to try and help her with her situation, and it kind of doesn't work out the way she expected it to, and she can't really find something that really applies to her situation in a Jane Austen novel, so things get a little weird. The next book is another of my most anticipated releases. I have a lot of my most anticipated releases, I'm noticing. So this is Prepped by Bethany Mangle. I read this one in March, I believe. It was really cute. It's a romance about a girl who lives in a prepper colony, and all she wants is to graduate, get her scholarship, and go to college. But something happens that kind of threatens to derail her plans. So this was a book that I enjoyed. Definitely recommend. This is one that I've heard recommended by Mel Reads. So this is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas, and I decided to get this one when I decided to get Aiden Thomas's newest book, which is Lost in the Neverwoods. And this kind of like a Peter Pan retelling, I guess you could call it, that I definitely wanted to pick up. So I knew I wanted to get Aiden Thomas's first book first. I believe this is his first book. Yeah, I wanted to get his debut novel first. So I picked up Cemetery Boys, and then I got Lost in the Neverwoods. And I very much look forward to reading both of them. Okay, another one of my most anticipated releases was Unchosen by Blair. This follows a girl who is not the chosen one, but she decides to put herself out there so she can see if she can protect her family and the world, I guess, from a curse that turns people into zombies and is fed through eye contact. So I thought the concept was really interesting, and I wanted to pick it up. The next book I have is one that I have already read. This is A Deal with the Elf King by Elise Kova. Another book that was recommended by Olivia Reads a Latte that I wanted to pick up. I have read it. I enjoyed it. It is meant to be a Beauty and the Beast and Hades and Persephone retelling, which I can see, but it's faint. Don't go into it thinking Hades and Persephone or Beauty and the Beast, but definitely good. This has been a book that I've been waiting for all year, and the only reason I haven't picked it up is because I want to reread the first two books before I get to this one. And this is The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I read and loved From Blood and Ash and A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. I still love them. I'm loving them even more as I reread From Blood and Ash, and just being able to go through the book and seeing all the foreshadowing that Jennifer L. Armentrout put in From Blood and Ash, since I've read it already, is amazing, and I love it even more, and I cannot wait to get to this one. The next book I have is one that I've heard a lot about. This is The Midnight Library by Matthew Haig. I've heard a lot of great things about it, so I wanted to pick it up and read it. Don't know much about it. I know it's about a woman who picks up a book that lets her redo her decisions on what decisions she's made in life. Other than that, don't know much more about it. The next book I have is another sequel. I got the first one because I thought the concept was interesting, and I knew I wanted this sequel in the same special edition format, so I got the Owl Crate edition of Bonecryer's Dawn to match my Bonecryer's Moon edition. So this is a gorgeous cover with the sprayed edges. These are silver, and it is signed by the author. So I very much look forward to reading Bonecryer's Moon and then picking up Bonecryer's Dawn. The next book I have is another one of my most anticipated releases, and this is Cast in Firelight by Dana Swift. Don't know much more about this. I know it's kind of like an enemies to lovers trope, I believe. There's magic, princesses, princes. I look forward to picking that up. The next book I have is one that I have loved forever. This is one of my favorite movies. and I knew I wanted this copy of the book because it looks exactly like the book used in the movie. So this is The Labyrinth by A.C.H. Smith, and I love the movie so much. I knew I wanted this copy because it looks like the copy that Sarah was reading from at the beginning of the movie. So this is a gorgeous leather, I believe it is, binded copy with the actual Labyrinth book pages on the inside, and it has a ribbon bookmark, and I love it. It was definitely worth what I paid for it. It wasn't ridiculously priced, but it was a good buy. The next book I have is, the next 3 books I have are part of a series. This is the Ash Princess Trilogy. So you have Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian, followed by Lady Smoke and Ember Queen. I have read Ash Princess and I enjoyed it. It wasn't like my favorite book, but it was good, and I knew I wanted to get a physical copy and read the other ones, but I think I want to read Ash Princess again before I pick up the other ones. I'm not positive. The next book is the 3rd book in a series, which I also have a special edition for up in my closet, but did not pull that down. So this is Bridge of Souls by Victoria Schwab. This is part of her middle grade Cassidy Blake series. This is the 3rd book in that series. I loved the first 2 when I read them in October for Halloween, so I knew I wanted to get this when this came out. So I guess you could call this the most anticipated release for this year. So I got that, and then I got the Owl Crate special edition, which is really just the bridge is red and then the back is like black, I believe. Oh, I did grab the special edition. So this is the special edition one, and this is the original copy. And then this special edition came with like a playlist, an author note, and was signed by Victoria Schwab. So I'm glad I got that copy. The next book I have is one that I have not seen a lot on BookTube, but I have heard of. This is Lovely War by Julie Berry. This is kind of like romance told by Aphrodite, I believe. So I thought it was interesting, wanted to pick it up. Then I got The Last Apothecary by Sarah Penner. I don't know much about this. I do know, I believe it's dual timelined, but other than that, there's not much I know about it. It's a beautiful cover, and I knew I wanted to pick it up. This next book is part of my most anticipated releases. This is Wings of Ebony by J.L. I believe this follows a POC main character who discovers that she's half god and is whisked away by her father after the murder of her mother. Other than that, there's not much else I know. I lucked out and got a signed copy off Amazon when I ordered it. Very excited to pick that up. This next one is one that I've wanted to pick up for a while, but just never got to it. I might save it for this winter. We'll see, because this is a winter book. This is Winterwood by Shea Ernshaw. So she also wrote The Wicked Deep, which I really enjoyed. Don't know much about this one except some kids go into the woods, they disappear, one comes out, there's mystery, magic, I believe. Other than that, I don't know much else, but I did want to pick it up. This next one I heard of from Books with Chloe. She read it and loved it. She actually, I think, has a full video dedicated to this book, and I knew I wanted to pick it up. So this is Starfish by Akemi Dawn Bowman. I don't know much about it. I know there's a troubling relationship between this daughter, who I believe has anxiety or something, and a mother who feels like she can control everything her daughter does, I believe. Like I said, don't know much, but I do know that I heard great things and I wanted to pick it up. The next books I got are graphic novels or comics. They might be comics. So this is the Cheese Sweet Home box set with the 4 parts. They're very thick, but they're very thick and in color. I thought it was cute and decided to pick it up. It was on my wish list for a while, but it was expensive, so I wanted to wait until it went on sale, and it finally did, so I decided to pick up the box set. It's cute. I'll probably try and pick up part 1 sometime this month, but we'll see. And the next books I have are by Love Wrecked by Karina Hale, The Swedish Prince, and also The Wild Heir. I read A Nordic King earlier this year and I really enjoyed it, so I decided to pick up some more books by her. And the last three books I have are by another author I've heard great things about, so I decided to pick up some of her books that I was interested in. So I got The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. I got Wait For It, and I also got From Lukov with Love. This is one that I have heard mentioned by Olivia Reads a Latte, and I like a lot of the books she recommends, so I figured I'd pick this one up, and since I was picking this one up, I picked up the other two, and I have a couple more coming in the mail. But that was a lot of books. I have no clue how long this video is going to be, but this was fun showing you my lack of self-control when it comes to buying books. I will see you guys in my next video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you enjoyed it, also please hit that subscribe button down below. I would love for you to join the family. I will see you guys in my next video. Have a good day or night wherever you are. Bye.